When the sun sank below the horizon, an eerie fog crept through the small, isolated town of Hawthorne. Nestled amidst the thick woods, the town seemed to be swallowed whole by an otherworldly mist that muffled sounds and shrouded vision. Residents locked their doors and closed their windows, haunted by the chilling whispers of old legends. Jenna, a young and curious local, had always dismissed these stories as mere superstitions. Tonight, however, would change her mind forever. As the clock struck midnight, a mournful cry echoed through the empty streets. Jenna, unable to contain her curiosity, wrapped herself in an old shawl and ventured out into the misty night. Each step seemed heavier, the fog thickening as if trying to dissuade her. She followed the sound to the edge of the town, where the forest began, and there she saw it, an old stone well, bathed in an unnatural, sickly light. The well had been abandoned for years, but tonight it seemed to pulsate with a life of its own. Jenna approached cautiously, her heart hammering in her chest. As she peered into the well, she saw a figure crouched at the bottom, its form barely discernible in the gloom. The figure lifted its head, and Jenna gasped. It was a woman, her face twisted in perpetual agony, eyes hollow and lifeless. Legends spoke of a woman named Eliza who had been accused of witchcraft centuries ago. The townsfolk had thrown her down this very well, leaving her to die a slow and excruciating death. Jenna's rational mind struggled against the apparitional evidence before her. Suddenly, Eliza's ghostly hand shot out of the well, grasping Jenna's wrist with an iron grip. Cold seeped into her bones, and she could feel the despair and rage of the restless spirit. Panic surged through Jenna, but she couldn't pull away. The ghost's mouth opened, a voice like cracking ice spilling forth. "Free me," it demanded. "End my suffering." With a shuddering breath, Jenna nodded. Days turned into nights as Jenna researched ways to put the tormented spirit to rest. She uncovered ancient rituals and forgotten texts, learning that only an offering of peace could pacify Eliza's spirit. On the seventh night, Jenna returned to the well, carrying a locket that had once belonged to Eliza. She murmured the incantations, her voice trembling but resolute. The ghost appeared once more, but this time there was a glimmer of hope in her empty eyes. Jenna tossed the locket into the well, and as it disappeared into the darkness, the ghost let out a sigh of relief. The oppressive fog began to lift, and the first light of dawn broke through the trees. Jenna knew that Hawthorne would never forget this night, and neither would she. The spirit of Eliza had finally found peace, and the town of Hawthorne was free from its haunting presence. But Jenna also understood something vital, that some legends are born of truths, and some truths are best left undisturbed.